What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Rebuilding Masculinity. This is your host, Saladin. We're going to get right into it today. But before we start, do me a favor, hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button to the channel. And also share this video if you like the videos. And because we need more of these messages going out, as I always say. This channel was definitely made to help men rebuild that masculine energy that society is fighting so hard to tear down. And we're going to be talking about various things on this channel, relationships. Eventually, I do plan on bringing some men on, and we're going to be talking about different subjects. So there's going to be a lot of great things that's going to be going on this channel. But for right now, today, we're going to be talking about mental health. So this study right here says what 1,000 men said about their mental health. So this was a study that was done. This is a recent study. It's not an old study. But it says the biggest cause of mental health issues in men's lives are work pressure, financial issues, and their health. So let's start from the first one. So work pressure. So you have a lot of men that go to work. They don't like their job, or they feel underpaid, but they still got to go to work because they have to pay bills. Some of them might have families. Some of them might not have families. Some of them might just have to just work just to survive. And that's why I always push out to you men that there's a clear separation out there between producers and non-producers. I always recommend every man to follow your purpose, to do whatever, to basically to find what your purpose is, what defines you, what makes you get up, your why. Those are very, very important, because that is what's going to make your job not feel like a job, is by you doing something that is in tune with your purpose. So you have to find out what your purpose is. That's why I kept talking about the superior man. I kept talking about that book, because that book basically teaches you about embracing your purpose, because truly, as a man, you're never going to be happy until you actually embrace your purpose, live by your purpose, and also have a strong foundation and live on that foundation. That is key parts of being a man. You got to have a foundation. You got to stand on what you believe on, no matter if others don't believe in what you believe in, but you have to stand by it. You have to have a strong foundation, and you have to have a strong mental state to be a man, especially in this society, because there's always constant attacks on being a man. There's always constant attacks on being a man. It's easy to, and I'm just going to use this example, but it's easy, like if you have children, and it's easy to go be a Pookie and Ray Ray and run away and not take care of your children. That's very easy to do. But whenever you're actually a real man, and let's just say that you're married or you have children, or let's say you're not married but you have a partner and you have children, it's not as easy as running away, because now you got to actually deal with conflict. You might have a little conflict with your lady. Or you might have some situations that's going on with your children, some challenges that your children are facing. So now you actually have to face those challenges with them, and you have to face other things that you are going through in the world, whether that might be at work or just out in public, whenever you're out in public. But you're going through different things, and you have to be able to have a strong mental state to be able to make it through those hurdles, because certain things you go through in life can literally wipe you out if you're not mentally strong. So that is very, very important. But yes, going back to the point, find your purpose in life. Finding your purpose is very important. It will definitely eliminate that work pressure. Financial issues. A lot of men out here are not making enough money. a lot of men, 35,000 is not enough money. 45,000 is not enough money. 50,000 is not enough money. And even in the South, 50,000 is starting to be not enough money for you. Unless you want to live in a crappy neighborhood, and I'm talking about after taxes. Obviously you're not going to bring home 50,000. If you don't have any children, they're going to tax you pretty bad. So, let's just say you have, I don't know. I'm just kind of just throwing some numbers out there. Let's just say you get 1,500 every 2 weeks. You have to be able to stretch that between possibly if you have a car payment, if you have student loans, if you have an apartment or a house, you have to stretch that money. So you definitely want to aim for careers that's going to pay you well enough to live. Now, and obviously that being in tune with your purpose. So I want to make sure I stay on key with that too, being in tune with your purpose, but finding something that's aligned with your purpose, but also pays well. Like me, I would say for a single man, no children, in the South, this is just me. I'm just throwing some numbers out there, so stay with me. For a single man that's married, not married, but a single man that is by himself, I would say you need to be making at least 65 to 75,000 in the South. At least 65 to 75,000 to live a decent lifestyle, not a extravagant lifestyle, but a decent lifestyle where you should have some money left over, some disposable income left over if you live in the South, or that. Now, if you live in the North, I would definitely say that you want to aim for at least 80 to 90,000. I know you're not going to be rich, but you should be able to live off that type of income if you know how to manage your finances. Because a lot of people don't know how to manage their finances, which is why they have so many financial issues. But if you know how to manage your finances, you should be able to live pretty good even in the North, with about 80 to 90K. But like I said, in the South, about 65, 75. I've never lived on the West Coast, so I couldn't give you any numbers. But from what I've heard in my research, the West Coast seems to be a little bit more expensive than the North. So I would definitely say, anything above 100K would definitely probably be the bare minimum you would want to be making to be living a decent lifestyle on the West Coast. Now, if there's anybody any fellas that's listening, you live on the West Coast, you can drop the numbers below on what you think it would take to probably live on the West Coast a decent lifestyle. But financial issues a lot of times is literally just people are just trying to live lifestyles above their salary. I'm just gonna keep it real. You got a lot of people driving $60,000 cars and they making $40,000. That's ridiculous. It's stupid. So, financial issues, people trying to keep up with the Jones, trying to keep up with this consumer mindset when you don't have no foundation. You're driving nice cars and all of this, but you have nothing in the bank. You have no retirement, which is basically hustling backwards. So financial issues. I'm gonna just keep it real. A lot of people will not be retiring at all. Like, the closest a lot of people is going to get to with retirement, I know this is a part of that financial issues part, which is, it says 31%. But financial issues, retirement, a lot of people is not going to be retiring. The closest they're going to get to retirement is them maybe having something in place enough where they're getting some money a month. But most people are going to have to work even when they quote unquote get to retirement age. So that does cause a lot of stress for men. But if you strategize, you can actually reverse that, and you can actually have a pretty decent retirement. Their health. A lot of you guys, man, you need to watch what you're eating, man. A lot of guys is worried. A lot of men, like I come across a lot of guys in their late 20s, even mid 20s, mid 30s that got all types of crazy health problems. Diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol. I met one guy that had all three: cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure. This guy's in his 40s. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, dude, what the hell? And this dude's still eating everything in a book. Like, dude, you got to have some discipline on what you eat. That's why it's very important. That's why when I noticed that a dude has a bad he doesn't have no financial strategy. He eats all types of crazy mess. He's not trying to align with his purpose, and he's not trying to do anything in life. I don't even hang around guys like that, just to be honest with you. But I knew a guy that was definitely like that, and I was it's crazy. It's definitely crazy to see, you know, a man going through that type, because that if your paper's not straight, you're in bad health and you're working a crappy job, yeah, you're gonna be stressed out all the time. But some of the things that you can do to work on stress, which I'm gonna make a video on that. I'm gonna basically talk to you all about some things I do to help out with my stress, and I think it'll be very beneficial for you all to take note. 40% of men polled said it would take thoughts of suicide or self-harm to compel them to seek professional help. So yeah, that's a fellas, if you went through something as a child, or you got something on your mind, go see a counselor. Stop holding it in. Stop trying to toughen it out or whatever. If it's causing problems in your life, in your relationship, because a lot of people can't hold friendships or relationships, or they can't hold down marriages, because a lot of people got mental issues that they're not even dealing with. And as a man, you have to hold yourself accountable. If you got something mentally going on, you need to go get that fixed. It is not anybody's job to grab you and try to drag you to go and get some help. You need to go get some help. You know you need some help, go get some help. All right? Don't be stubborn. Don't let that hold you back in life. Go get some help. 40% have never spoken to anyone about their mental health. 29% are too embarrassed to speak about it. 20% say there is a negative stigma on the issue. So, guys, embarrassment for what? You should never be embarrassed. Go talk to a psychiatrist. Go talk to somebody. And one thing I always recommend for you fellas to have, especially for you guys that say, oh, I don't mess with anybody, you anti-social movements. A lot of guys that are anti-social, they have a very crappy life. They most of the time their dating life sucks, their work life sucks, and they paper ain't straight. The anti-social people that don't want to network, most of those guys are losers, and that's why they live their lifestyle they live. But for you fellas that are at least willing to change, if you are anti-social, make sure you have at least one friend on deck that you can talk to, you can vent to. You know, you always want to have one person, one strong person in your corner that you can always look to and kind of talk to. You got to have a network of you want to have a strong network, period, but you always want to have maybe one or two guys that you can really talk to. You know they're not going to go gossip and run their mouth like a female, but you want to have that in your circle too. 77% have suffered with symptoms of negative mental health. That is bad, fellas. Once again, mental health is very, very important. Take it serious, fellas. Look, I know there's a lot of women out here that try to pretend like they're the only ones going through stuff, and everybody basically teaches men to keep stuff to yourself. Listen, if something is going on, go talk to a professional. And once again, make sure your paper's straight. Make sure you're aligning with your purpose, and basically aligning that with whatever job field you're in, and making sure that it's paying the bills. And remember to always eat healthy, work out, take care of yourself. So those were the things that we basically just recapped on what I said. So once again, fellas, mental health is very important. Very, very important. In order for you to have a healthy relationship, healthy friendships, you're going to have a good mental health. If you guys like this video, hit the share button, share this video, also like it, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you all in the next video. Rebuilding masculinity.